You know, I didn't have to have 70 fights or 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights?
Yes, you did.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that
The greatest.
After stunning the boxing world with a huge win over Canelo Alvarez, Terence Crawford fired a bold warning at Floyd Mayweather Jr., saying he was coming for his legacy, not just his money or undefeated record. Floyd didn't stay quiet for long. He quickly responded in interviews, dismissed Crawford's victory, and reminded fans why he still believes he's the greatest boxer ever. But this goes far beyond simple trash talk. It's a battle over who truly owns boxing greatness. Crawford may be the pound-for-pound king today, but Floyd still holds the perfect record, massive pay-per-view numbers, and worldwide fame. And now, for the first time, it feels like these two boxing legacies are finally on a collision course. So let's take a closer look at what's really going on.
Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. He's actually he moved in weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather is really good too, though. You can't knock him as well. He's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because it's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician. I mean, like Crawford said, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is his era.
To understand why Terence Crawford made that statement, you have to go back to Las Vegas on September 13th. Crawford stepped into the ring against Canelo Alvarez after moving up 2 weight classes, giving away size, strength, and every advantage on paper. Most fans and experts believed he had no real chance to win. But once the fight started, Bud completely changed the story. Across 12 rounds, he controlled the action, took away Canelo's power, landed the cleaner punches, and shocked the boxing world by becoming the first fighter ever to become undisputed champion in 3 different weight classes.
You said something about what fighters go through, and you've seen enough guys that the game is taken from. It's a hard game to get through. Can you get a better ending than tonight? I mean, really?
Not at all. Not at all. This is the top of the top. Canelo is, an all-time great. Like I said before, he's the last one.
He was the A side of the age.
There's no more Canelos.
So,
there's no more. So when you look around, you say, "I'm the Canelo." I'm the face of boxing now, and I'm the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, like I always been. Just gotta wait.
That wasn't just another victory. It was a historic moment that changed the entire conversation around boxing.
Couldn't really keep up with him. He was too fast. His footwork was too good.
Do you think the scores was right on, or do you think maybe it was a little more towards Bud?
What was the scorecards?
115, 113, 116, 112.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah?
I feel like Bud damn near basically won every round, so
yeah.
But yeah, that's about right. You can say that.
Now, with this accomplishment, Keyshawn, is he on the Mount Rushmore of
Hell
boxers?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah?
3-time undisputed. He just beat Canelo.
Yeah.
The face of boxing. So now you can say Bud is the face of boxing.
Greatest of all time, or?
Greatest of all time.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it can never be one great, but he definitely one of the greatest of all time for sure.
Suddenly, fans were no longer just calling Terence Crawford the pound-for-pound king. They started asking a much bigger question. Is Bud actually greater than Floyd Mayweather Jr.? That's when the tension really started. Floyd built his entire image around being unbeatable, becoming Money Mayweather, and setting the standard for modern boxing greatness. But now Crawford's rise has become so massive that people are beginning to compare his achievements directly to Floyd's legendary career.
Backed by arguably one of the greatest of all time, right?
what are we rating ourselves on? What are we rating on?
Okay.
Well, we want to know, in the least amount of fights, I didn't have to have 70 fights or 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights?
Yes, you did.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that.
The greatest of all time.
Okay.
All right.
That's why Terence Crawford came out so aggressively with the comment about taking over Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s legacy. He understands that he's not only beating top fighters, he's also challenging the story Floyd controlled for years. Crawford wasn't talking about fighting Floyd in the ring. He was attacking the idea that Floyd's place at the top could never be touched. Mayweather built his entire career around control. He decided when to fight Manny Pacquiao, when to face Oscar de la Hoya, and he fought Canelo Alvarez before Canelo fully reached his prime. Throughout his career, Floyd carefully managed every move and rarely gave fans a reason to question his greatness.
All these fighters, they doing the shoulder roll, you see? I mean, yeah. And not knocking the guys that paved the way. And I want to come on record and say, I'm appreciative for guys like Sugar Ray Robinson and Muhammad Ali and Sugar Ray Leonard. So many guys that paved the way for me. But there's only one Floyd Mayweather. These fighters are not better than me. You look at the numbers, they say, oh, Canelo may end up beating more world champions than Floyd Mayweather. Well, he should, with almost, 80 and 90 fights, he should. I beat more world champions than any fighter in history. I'm 50-0, but half of my fights was world title fights.
But Terence Crawford has taken a completely different path. Bud has chased the biggest challenges every step of the way. He didn't wait for Errol Spence Jr. to slow down before fighting him. He faced him at his best and dominated the matchup. He also didn't wait for Canelo Alvarez to decline. He moved up to super middleweight, where Canelo had ruled for years, and beat him on the biggest stage.
To be Chris Eubank's trainer, first of all.
It feels good, man. You know what I'm saying? I've been this trainer before, so.
Yeah, it's good.
It's a no-brainer.
Of course. Congratulations on the win. What's your first reactions to Crawford's victory? One of the greats of this era, right?
Oh, definitely that. You know that.
What do you want to see him do now?
What I want to do now?
What do you want to see Crawford do next?
Just do what he at this point now in his career where he could do whatever he wanted to do.
Who would you like to see him fight? Any names? Is there any names in particular you'd like to see?
It doesn't matter.
What about Canelo? Would you like to see him retire?
I don't. Canelo's not my responsibility.
Okay.
What Terence Crawford was really saying was simple. I'm willing to take the kind of risks you never took. And when fans look back and compare his career to Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s legacy, that fearless approach is what many people will remember the most.
Why were you so emotional afterward? Is it that you just realized everything that you achieved, the moment just hit you then?
Yeah, for sure. Like, it's just, the history, behind the sport is just everything that, I trained for my whole life. It all was, coming out that one night. That was all paying off. You have a lot of people that, adopted this narrative that Terence Crawford can't sell, Terence Crawford is not marketable, and they push the narrative to the public, and that's all people write about. Oh, Terence Crawford can't do this, Terence Crawford can't do that. But anyone in Terence Crawford fights, you see a sold out crowd, but they wasn't talking about that. They was talking about how, marketable I'm not, and that kind of was hurting my career because, a lot of people was looking at me and said, oh yeah, they said he's not marketable. Oh, they said he's not, don't have a personality, things like that, because I didn't want to do things their way. I didn't want to put on a show. I didn't want to disrespect my opponents when they wasn't disrespecting me. Right. I wasn't, I'm not a guy that, wear jewelry for no reason. Just the things that I didn't want to do that they wanted me to do. They go out there and say, oh, well, they lost money on me. It's just crazy though to see me headline, not one of the largest attending fight in American history.
For Terence Crawford, legacy is about more than staying undefeated. It's about the level of opponents you faced, the timing of those fights, and the way you performed when the pressure was highest. That's why he believes he can challenge the place Floyd Mayweather Jr. has held for years. But Floyd was never going to stay silent. In classic Money Mayweather style, he brushed off Crawford's victory, claimed Canelo Alvarez wasn't as dangerous as people say, and argued that Bud's resume still doesn't compare to his own. Floyd pointed to his perfect 50-0 record, the massive pay-per-view success he created, and the fact that no fighter ever truly solved him in the ring. From Floyd's perspective, Crawford isn't changing boxing history. He's building his reputation on the path Floyd already created.
At the end of the day, I'll let you know, there's no fighter that will ever be better than me. There's no fighter that wasn't better than me before me or after me or when I'm long gone. I'm the best.
And the harshest part of Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s response was that he basically treated Terence Crawford like he wasn't important enough to damage his legacy. Floyd made it clear that when boxing fans talk about greatness, his name is still the standard. In his mind, Crawford can't destroy something that already feels untouchable. That was Floyd's message to everyone. You can challenge the king, but you can't erase what he built.
Wild, because if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost the first fight, I didn't, but then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with everyone the whole time.
But the truth is, this debate isn't going away. Floyd Mayweather Jr. built his legacy on perfection. 50 wins, 0 losses, never really broken in the ring, and victories over some of the biggest names in boxing. He also became the face of massive pay-per-view events and helped turn boxing into a billion-dollar business. Terence Crawford has built his legacy on pure risk and ambition. He's become a 3-division undisputed champion, and he's done it by stepping into the toughest fights without hesitation. Wins over Errol Spence Jr. and Canelo Alvarez, even later in their careers, have only strengthened his reputation. Even at 38, he continues to show complete control, no fear, and total dominance in the ring.
Honest, when I set my sights on doing something, and I know what I'm capable of, it's not like a surprise to me. It's a surprise to y'all because y'all didn't believe me, but for me, I knew I could do it, and I believed that I could do it. I just needed the opportunity.
Terence, when did you know that you were going to beat him? Over here on your left.
When he signed the contract.
He seemed to focus mostly on body punches, and you were hitting him in the head a lot. Was it your reach that gave you the advantage?
It was everything. He wasn't hitting the body or anything. He was hitting my elbow because I was blocking it, but, I think I was the better man.
This is the core of the legacy debate. On one side, safety, business strategy, and total control. On the other, risk-taking, ambition, and chasing greatness. It's a clash between playing it smart and playing it bold, and that's exactly what makes the comparison between Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Terence Crawford so intense.
Before the fight, the Crawford-Canelo fight, and you had a Cavs hat on. This time you've got a GOAT hat on. Is that how you're feeling? I know it says Muhammad Ali, but is that how you're feeling about Bud's performance, about his whole career?
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling that way, man. GOAT. Greatest all time, man. You gotta give it to him. You gotta give it to him. You gotta give it to his coaches. Not just me, Saul Red, Bernie, Chet, nutritionists, everybody played a part.
Canelo said he's way better than Mayweather. What do you think to that?
Who, Terence?
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Of course he is.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. has always stood by the idea that he was the smartest fighter in boxing, the one who made the right moves at the right time. Meanwhile, Terence Crawford represents the opposite mindset. He believes his greatness comes from being the bravest, the one willing to take the hardest fights without hesitation. That's why Crawford's words hit so strongly, because they challenge something Floyd values just as much as his money, his place in boxing history and how he will always be remembered.
They were saying that if he beats Canelo, it could put him as even the greatest of all time. What does that put him in the all-time list, man?
At least top 10.
At least
top
10?
10 or top 15, easily, you know? There's guys that we may not know of or heard of, like Henry Armstrong. Simultaneously, he was 3 divisions carrying all 3 weight divisions at the same time.
Which performance was better? I don't like to compare them, but Crawford or Mayweather's over Canelo. Like it's just different.
It's just different styles, different looks, you know? But the punching, the output that he was giving Canelo definitely gave him the win.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. rarely reacts strongly unless something starts affecting his image and legacy in the sport. And this debate has grown because Terence Crawford is not just winning fights, he's earning wide respect from fans and fighters at the same time. Many now rank him as the pound-for-pound #1, especially after his win over Canelo Alvarez, which many saw as unlikely. As a result, some fighters, analysts, and younger voices in boxing are even bringing up GOAT-level conversations around Crawford, which has added more heat to the comparison between his career and Floyd's legacy.
Robinson is the Grill.
Who?
Sugar Ray Robinson.
Man,
That's
niggas
Grill.
ain't even see that.
I YouTubed him, nigga. I YouTubed him. He on YouTube. Check the YouTube.
He was buns.
Nah, it's like that's
buns. He was buns.
Sugar Ray Robinson is buns. No, you're wild. We're not standing for that.
Buns.
Listen, it's like this. It's like this. It's like
boxing has evolved. Bro.
It has, but I'm saying
and Sugar Ray Robinson didn't even know how to pick his hands up.
Hold up, it's
Go
like
watch
this.
him fight Jake LaMotta. He was hitting that nigga with non-stop hooks. Over and over.
But you're not counting like this. That's like saying Wilt Chamberlain. That's like saying Wilt Chamberlain is not that. If you dominate in the era where you're doing shit that nobody does in the era, nobody was doing that.
Wilt Chamberlain, did they have a 3-point line?
No.
Oh, I don't want to hear about him.
He scored 100 points.
Doing
It don't matter what he did. 100 of these, nigga. 100 of these.
That's ass.
Nah, you gotta stop it.
That's ass.
And he's delivering massive numbers while doing it. His Netflix fight sold out a stadium, trended across the world, and pulled in one of the biggest global audiences boxing has seen since Floyd Mayweather Jr. versus Manny Pacquiao.
This is the situation, guys. No one has ever been a 4-division champion in boxing. Not a real one. Oh, Pacquiao won 8 and Oscar De La Hoya won 11 and this one won 15. No, I'm talking about Ring Magazine champ or lineal champ. You are the champion of that division.
Get them all.
Forever, the record was 3 by Henry Armstrong. Manny Pacquiao was the first dude to really win 4. Floyd gets credit for 4 for beating Canelo, but that wasn't at the junior middleweight limit. I don't count that. I don't count that. Terence Crawford just joined Manny Pacquiao as the only legit 4-division champion in the history of boxing. And he did it by jumping middle. He came lightweight, junior welter, then he won a belt at junior middle, not the whole championship, and then skipped middle to fight Canelo Alvarez for the undisputed, for the Ring Magazine super middleweight championship of the world, and left no doubts, including with Canelo, who was all class after the fight, but no.
That's why Floyd Mayweather Jr. keeps reacting, because Terence Crawford isn't just talking, he's stepping into spaces Floyd once owned. The pound-for-pound talk, the big fight headlines, and the global spotlight are now all being linked to Crawford. And for the first time since Floyd retired, fans aren't only asking what Floyd would have done, they're asking if Crawford is actually better. But the key detail is this: Crawford isn't chasing Floyd. He's always shown respect for him, even calling him one of the greats and acknowledging his influence. He's never pushed for a fight or needed Floyd's approval. That's why this situation feels different. Crawford's message isn't about hype or money, it's about how he defines greatness, where risk and achievement matter more than perfect records and controlled careers. And since Floyd is retired and long past his prime, a fight between them doesn't really change anything for Crawford's legacy, which is why he doesn't push for it.
Terence fought a virtuoso fight. Terence never let Canelo get into a rhythm. Terence never allowed Canelo to get anything going, and I didn't think he could do it for 12 rounds. I thought that the first 3 or 4 rounds were going to be difficult for Canelo for that reason, but Terence was able to do it for 12 rounds, and in the later part of the fight, he kind of pushed the fight more than I think people expected, which is the mark of a superstar, man.
Some legends still stand firmly with Floyd Mayweather Jr., arguing that his 50-0 record, massive pay-per-view success, and total control of his career speak for themselves. In their view, That level of perfection in boxing may never be matched again. But others have started leaning toward Terence Crawford, pointing to his willingness to move up in weight, take dangerous fights, and face top opponents without hesitation. They see him as the fighter who did what Floyd avoided, chasing risk instead of managing it, and some now call him the pound-for-pound best of this era and even place him in GOAT conversations. Even analysts like Max Kellerman have weighed in, suggesting Crawford's approach to fighting gives him advantages over Floyd in certain all-time comparisons. It's a bold claim, and it's exactly the kind of talk that keeps Floyd engaged and unwilling to stay quiet.
You can take a guy like Canelo, this guy can do, he can pick and choose who he want to fight. And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth about Canelo. Easy, man. Cakewalk, easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude was nothing. I was almost 40 years old when I cooked this dude. Easy.
Right now, I think Crawford is a little better than Mayweather, but Canelo have more space.
So now, instead of just talking about Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez, the boxing world is focused on a much bigger story: Crawford versus the legacy of Floyd Mayweather Jr. In many ways, that debate feels even bigger than any fight in the ring. Looking ahead, Floyd is likely to keep speaking out, reminding everyone of his 50-0 record and trying to reinforce the idea that his career stands above everyone else. There could even be talk of exhibitions just to keep his name in the spotlight. Crawford, on the other hand, doesn't really need to say much. His results already speak for him, from beating Canelo to making history at 38 and being ranked at the top of pound-for-pound lists. Still, this debate isn't fading anytime soon, because Crawford's comments clearly struck a nerve, and Floyd is not someone who ignores challenges to his legacy.
Building generational wealth. Even like when my children, all four of my children are adults. And I told them, no more handouts. Because I feel like I'm hurting my children just by, I give them money, they go shopping, they put gas in their car, they party, they come back, I need money. I give them money, I buy them houses, I buy them cars. Told them, listen, if you guys go to school or you work in one of my businesses, then you can branch off, get your own business, and I'll put the money up to help you start a business, but I need you guys to take what I've already started and triple and double that, and then I need my grandchildren to come behind you guys.
So that's where things stand. Terence Crawford made a bold statement aimed at Floyd Mayweather Jr., saying he would challenge the idea of Mayweather's legacy. Floyd quickly responded in strong fashion, downplaying Crawford's recent wins, pointing back to his perfect 50-0 record, and making it clear he still sees his career as untouchable. In the end, the debate is still wide open. Floyd represents flawless records and full control, while Crawford represents risk, ambition, and taking the hardest fights. Now it's up to fans to decide which legacy stands stronger.